This video is brought to you by Captivating History. Japanese mythology and folklore are rich in tales of mysterious and magical creatures, collectively referred to as yokai. The yokai range from malevolent creatures who cause suffering and misfortune, to the merely mischievous who create havoc, to those who bring good fortune and blessings. Some yokai are considered to be so evil that they are held responsible for plunging the entire nation of Japan into chaos and ruin. In this video, we'll look at the stories of 2 out of the 3 evilest yokai of all, Shuten-doji and Tamamo no Me. The Shuten-doji Tale. Before he attained his status as a legendary monster, Shuten-doji was believed to be a simple, if troublesome, orphan child. He had a reputation for being extremely intelligent and strong, so much so that many people believed his father must have been a demon of some sort, or possibly even a dragon. At a young age, Shuten-doji was sent to be a monk. However, he was not well suited to monastic life. He treated his superior and others with disrespect. He got into fights. Most notably, he had a taste for sake and drank frequently and heavily. This is how he got the name Shuten-doji, which means little drunkard. On one night, Shuten-doji got drunk and decided to play some pranks at a festival. He put on an oni mask, a demon face, and crept around the festival jumping out and scaring people. After he was through, much satisfied with himself, he sneaked away and tried to take off the oni mask. It would not come off. It seemed that the oni mask had become fused to his face. It was now part of his body. When he returned to the monks, he was teased and ridiculed for how ugly he had become. He was even punished for his pranks and told how evil he was. For this, he started to become like an oni deep inside. His heart grew corrupt and he became full of anger. He finally fled the monks up into the mountains to live as a hermit. In his isolation and solitude, Shuten-doji began to hate the world. He came to embrace his own evil and studied black magic. He started to use his intelligence and his newfound evil powers to attack travelers and merchants. He even kidnapped young men and women, and it is said that he drank their blood and ate their organs. After some time, other demons and evil creatures were attracted to him. He began to amass an army of oni and evil people. As these others spent time with Shuten-doji, they too were transformed into oni. Eventually, Shuten-doji and his army built a castle on Mount Ui. He plotted his vengeance on the world of people. He sought to become king of Japan. Shuten-doji began to attack the Emperor of Japan. Using his mountain castle as a base, he began his attempt to take over and continued to attack more and more. The kidnappings and murders also persisted. Shuten-doji had launched a reign of terror. Eventually, Emperor Ichijo decided that Shuten-doji and his oni army must be stopped. The emperor sent his bravest warrior, Raiko, to climb Mount Ui and bring back the head of Shuten-doji. Raiko and his men headed into the mountains. There they found the oni army inside their castle drinking sake. Raiko and his men poisoned the sake and put the oni army into a deep sleep. Raiko and his men were able to sneak into the castle. They attacked the oni and killed them one by one. Finally, they made their way to Shuten-doji. Raiko sliced off the oni king's head. However, even in death, Shuten-doji was so powerful that his head bit at Raiko and his men. In the end, they buried Shuten-doji's head outside the city, where it would cause no more trouble. As with many myths, there are several versions of the Shuten-doji tale. His malevolent influence and ruinous legacy plays an essential role in Japanese mythology, history, and culture. As described in the story, Shuten-doji was not born an oni, which are a kind of yokai, but he became one through his upsetting behavior. Several Japanese idioms and proverbs make reference to oni. There is, for example, a Japanese expression that says, "A child that does not resemble its parents is the child of an oni," and may be used by a parent to chastise a misbehaving child. Now, if you ever travel to Japan and happen to see people throwing beans, It's most likely a ritual intended to drive away the demons, or in other words, Oni. If you hear Oni wa soto, fuku wa uchi, which means Oni go out, blessings come in, while the beans are thrown, then you can be certain that it's an important Japanese ritual taking place. The story of Tamamo no Mae. Tamamo no Mae is one of the most notorious yokai in Japanese folklore. There are numerous stories about her, and she turns up in Chinese and Indian traditions also. She is beautiful but horrifying, leading orgies and murderous rampages everywhere she goes. She is the sower of discord in every tale associated with her. Unlike Shuten-doji, Tamamo no Mae was evil by her very nature. She began as a shape-shifting fox with 9 tails. Her evil and her ambition were unmatched in the world. At one time, she disguised herself as a human child and was taken in by an elderly couple who could not have their own child. This couple raised her as their own and named her Mikazume. As a young girl, Mikazume showed herself to be exceptionally talented and bright. For these reasons, she attracted the attention of nearly everyone. So gifted was she that at the age of 7 she was invited to recite poetry for the Emperor Toba, who was so taken by her that he offered her a position as a servant in the imperial court. Mikazume quickly became a star at the court. She absorbed knowledge unlike anyone before. There was not a single thing that was beyond her. She excelled at music, history, astronomy, religion, and Chinese classics. She was stunningly beautiful, and even her clothes were perfect. She smelled lovely. Everyone who laid eyes on her instantly fell in love with her. During a poetry recital one summer, a powerful rainstorm struck, and the winds blew out all the candles in the recital chamber. Suddenly, much to the astonishment of everyone, a mysterious light began to emanate from Mikazume's body. The people in the audience were stunned and dismayed. Someone declared that Mikazume must have had a holy life in a past life, and she was given the name Tamamo no Mae. Emperor Toba, who was already smitten by the girl, invited her to be his royal consort. Not long after this, the Emperor Toba became ill. The emperor's court brought in the most learned physicians. None could determine what was wrong. They brought in high priests and sorcerers. They consulted every source they could to determine the cause of the emperor's illness. No one could figure it out. The sorcerers suggested that someone close to the emperor was making him sick, and there were those who suspected Tamamo no Mae. They suggested that she was a fox in disguise, and that she was using magic to make the emperor ill. But the emperor was so blinded by love that he refused to listen to these concerns. In fact, it was Tamamo no Mae. She was using her evil magic to shorten the emperor's life. It was decreed that a divine ritual would be necessary to save the life of the emperor. Tamamo no Mae was ordered to participate. The sorcerers who suspected her knew if she was forced to recite the magic ritual, her evil magic would be revealed. Tamamo no Mae also knew this, but given her position, she had no choice but to go through with the magic rituals. All went well for Tamamo no Mae even as she recited the holy words. However, just as she was about to finish the ceremony and waved the magic staff to complete it, she vanished from sight. Thus, the sorcerer's suspicions were confirmed. The emperor, furious over the betrayal, summoned his finest warriors and assembled an army of 80,000 men to hunt down and kill Tamamo no Mae. Reports came in that one of the warriors had spotted a 9-tailed fox in the east. Tamamo no Mae was chased and hunted all the way to the plains of Nasuno. Just before the army caught up to her, Tamamo no Mae appeared to one of the emperor's men to plead for her life. His name was Muranosuke. She cried and told him that on the next day he would find her and kill her. She begged him to spare her. Her beauty enchanted him, and her cries moved him to pity. But he was a man of great honor, and he rejected her. The next day, as foretold by Tamamo no Mae, Muranosuke saw a 9-tailed fox. He shot 2 arrows at it and pierced the fox in the side and the neck. Another soldier, Kazusanosuke, swung his sword at the fox's head. Tamamo no Mae fell dead. The army returned to the emperor with the body of the fox as proof they had killed Tamamo no Mae. However, Tamamo no Mae's evil power persisted even after her death. The great emperor of Japan died without an heir. Emperor Toba died shortly after this. The crisis of authority plunged Japan into chaos. Thus, this crisis of power marked the beginning of the rise of the shoguns, which were the military dictators of Japan during the period from 1185 to 1868. In most of this period, the shoguns were the de facto rulers of the country. There you have it, the stories of 2 out of the 3 evilest yokai. If you want to discover the story of the third one, called Emperor Sutoku, check out our book, Japanese Mythology, a captivating guide to Japanese folklore, myths, fairy tales, yokai, heroes, and heroines. In it, you'll also discover more stories of mystery, horror, and romance while simultaneously learning about the Japanese culture. The book is available in ebook, paperback, and audio format, and you can find the links in the description of this video. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this.